Yeah, my home. Used to just being there alone. Motion straight and text flat. Acting like I never cared when deep inside I'm hella scared. Knowing I'm not that well prepared. Fights is worse and the voice is louder. Bleach your hair, short the shower. Patience thin and I'm sort of sour. Searching for my source of power. Lost my cool, I call her bitch. She's on the phone with her about this. Disrespect, they saw the shit. That little baby, all of this. Sent the text, she not responding. That petty shit, I'm so beyond it. Backing up all her love and said love is dead. Now she don't want it. Every other sunrise. You know you love me sometimes. My heart is on the front lines. My soul is coming undone.
New exclusive from JPZ in the building on y'all.
So like, I love you, baby. Yeah. Make love,
Stay tuned. We'll have conversations with D1 and JPZ.
I promise to. Abusing the money, the wrong frame of mind was confused with the money. That's the truth in the money, making moves in the money, making families' lives all improve with the money, making change with the money, getting from the money, alleviate a little bit of pain with the money, living life with the money, being nice with the money, always by the side, doing tight with the money, doing right with the money, taking flights with the money.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up, man? What you want right now?
Well, man, I ain't about to know you bringing in that shit with you. What's that?
Whatever you want right now.
To
Like that, you on some different shit, bro.
Oh man, just
You on some different shit.
motherfuckers been taught me how to tap into my neural.
You put that mug in the
That's all
in the
it
tape
was.
that you just run straight through. I ain't heard one that I can fast forward through.
Man, that's impressive too, because a lot of times you'll be like, that ain't for me.
Yeah,
That's a little too
different
different.
right here, though.
You like it?
It's
Come on,
different.
right track.
I like everything you like so far, man. Hey, man, spot on.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, man, that's spot on, man. That's what's up, bro. Yeah, you bro up there.
Quality.
What up there with the G bodies
Product.
showing out now, showing up and showing. That's what's up, man.
Oh man,
Yeah. So when you releasing?
I'm looking at. I was thinking about doing it in the next couple months, but I want to make some more. I want to make some. I need a couple. Some of this shit I was kind of going. I was in a dark place. I was working my way out of a dark place with music, so I'm kind of in a better place now. So I need a couple more funky, good feeling, soulful.
Yeah.
You know the dum
Yeah.
the shit that people know me for. Some of this shit is kind of dark, you know.
You saying the one you got now is?
Some of them are, I feel like.
Oh man, they so far though. I ain't heard one yet that's dark.
No?
Everything I heard is like, yeah. Put you in that. I'm gonna clean my house, wash my car.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna move around and throw this on and forget about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And life is light and dark, man. You gotta have some dark tracks and some light tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel you probably do need to do a mob Casey, style.
So I got this is not really mob, but this is like the one people been liking for like the straight out the dirt feel. You know, for the radio, club, Who I gotta kill, do this shit. You ain't never seen another crew this sick. The way I'm saying, like,
hills on sale like Sally. Stepping in west, spinning that kiss. Said I couldn't do it, then did it again. Hitting on my dick on the ground with a grin. Now I'm in the pen, on my hand and again. Looking in the mirror like, damn, I'm him. Straight to the top was a plan to begin. Guess I had to raise the standard again. Just trying to run up on the man again. Been talking all day. Been coming all day. Been winning all day. Been winning all day. Been talking all day. Been coming all day. Been winning all day. Been winning all day.
Yeah, bro. I ain't heard one yet. But
I ain't heard one. There's a few I skipped, so I left a few out.
Bird chirping, black coffee on my balcony. I turn my pain into my gains like it's alchemy. Blessings hidden in the times that really challenge me. Gotta balance my intense personality. Fire in my soul, eyes calm and quiet. 5'6", living life like I'm a giant. Never settled for it, always been defiant. I'm stubborn and determined, independent, self-reliant. Silence in the mind, learning, living in the moment, realizing that you are your only real opponent. Accountability, you gotta own it. The world is your oyster, you can have it if you want it. My desires for times to go wires, Daytona's complementing perfectly the bold tires. The passion of Christ transmuting the soul fire. Really gotta have a blood on mamas, I'm no liar. The co-signer, laws, my ghostwriter, satchel page with the pitch, my cadence and flow tighter. Dancing in a storm when life start raining on you, never looking back, cause something might be gaining on you. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah. And she singing to me, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. And she singing to me.
Try to, put a little bit more. I know you always push me like, man, you need to do more of the samples, more soulful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot. I think I had got real mechanical on the bass lines, just heavy mob and 808s.
But you mixing it up, and it's magnifico.
Man,
It's magnifico. Man, that's right there. That's Kansas City right there. We need to be behind that right there.
right.
It's positive. It's still funky.
Yep.
You know, it don't take you into the cornball. You know what I'm saying? But it's dealing with just real life issues.
Right.
But it's just making it feel good.
Yeah.
Feel good music, man.
Yeah.
Top notch, bro. That's what's up, man. Salute. Yeah, salute. One of Kansas City's finest in the building. JPZ. Man, one of the best doing it right now. You're one of the best doing it right now.
Just a good student, man. That's all.
Man.
Just a diligent learner, man.
So let me ask you, man,
Masters.
what was it like moving to the Bay Area and working with the gods, man, with 40 and Big?
Man, like, you kind of experienced a lot of it with me when it was cracking off when I was still here, right? I was coming,
Yeah.
We talk about it every week,
but they don't know, you know what I'm saying? They don't know what that journey's like, you know what I'm saying?
I was just, I think it's like, it's alchemy. It's a manifestation that came to life,
Right.
And that shit was just, I mean, you were there, like that moment in time in Kansas City. Yeah, the whole time, literally, the whole time. Yeah. And to see all that shit, like, I don't know, moving to California was a culture shock. I thought I was super ganged up and work, this is Kansas City, and you don't really see the, in the Bay, it's a mental game. It's so ganged up. I mean, they'll just talk you out. They'll just talk you right out of your shit. Kansas City's more of a strong arm city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of real sharp people out here too that will talk you out your shit too.
Yeah.
But they're just the level of I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for California.
Okay.
Queen Califia, she'll, you know, it's big money out there. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of fucking, a lot of P gang, you know,
Mhm.
whole lot of P shit going on.
Right.
But as far as like, I guess you asked about 40 and B, and it's just dope. It was a, you know, B really ended up being my mentor because 40's a tycoon, you know,
Yeah.
he's a boss. He has to move on like 40 really moves like a king on the land, you know.
Right.
He can't. Not everybody gets access to him, and you know,
Yeah.
he's got a lot of responsibilities. Puts food on a lot of people's tables.
Right.
So Be Legit was really Be Legit kind of took me under his wing, and B's super wise. He's like he's like the old oak tree. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Go sit under the old oak tree.
Yeah.
Just soak some of that game, and you know, B kind of, you know, Bila was he was really the one that showed me around the Bay, showed me how to move around. Rest in peace to Nate Dank. Nate Dank showed me a lot too. But B more than 40. You know, 40 opened the door for me, but B is like for real. Like, I mean, people say it all the time, man. Bila's the real. He's the real soil of the Bay Area. You know,
Right.
40's like the mouthpiece spokesperson, but Bila is the connection to the turf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was the active guy still with the boots on the ground.
Right.
Oh, father.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Having him as a mentor, bro. And he's way, you know, like he showed people a little bit of his knowledge and wisdom on, oh my God. But I mean,
That shocked me on that one.
he's super. I mean, he's a lot more tapped in than people realize he is. You know,
Now, that would be dope to get some, like a full length from him, because that right there is validation for the young boys to, you know what I'm saying, to really look and evaluate themselves. Because if the OG's doing it, then you know it inspires some of these young boys to come up and do the same thing. So that was dope. Yeah. Now you can hear the influence and the first guy, Richie Rich, you can hear it in that.
Yeah.
And you can hear that how they influenced you with your album. Like, it's just crispy.
Yeah.
Rhymes crispy.
Yeah.
It's flowing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, both of them are real, you know, Rich from it, you know, a lot of people in Kansas City might not realize, but Rich is really part of the foundations of Bay Area hip hop. 415, Too Short, Freddie B, MC Hammer, The Click. You know, people don't give Hammer his credit, but Hammer's a factor in the motherfucking Bay.
Yeah, man.
Hammer's a real motherfucking factor.
He changed the rap game when he came out.
Yeah, and he's really respected in East Oakland to this day. Like by like the real ones, and never had to sell dope, never had to do nothing but just dance, rap, and be who he was. But is real authentic legend that everybody respects. But Rich is part of that, you know, that East Oakland tradition, you know, and then B and 40 and The Click and Mac Dre and Vallejo, you know. So being around Diva and being around Double, I just soaked from, you know, and they're both. I met Rich through Be Legit, so they've been friends for 40 years or more, maybe, you know. And a lot of people don't know, like Rich is actually when 415 and Richie Rich, they were like he was showing Pac how to do it. When Pac was coming from Marin to Oakland because Gov, Richie Rich, Digital Underground. Oakland is like the mecca of West Coast hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so Pac was really learning a lot from seeing how 415, DJ Daryl, Richie Rich, and that's why you see Richie Rich, DJ Daryl.
Richie Rich, is he up there, ain't he? Like in age?
Yeah, it's OG for sure.
That sounds like I appreciate the fact that they're not making it a young man's game. They're making it a musician's game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Age
Right.
don't have a factor in the type of music you can make and play. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that's dope.
Right. Well, I think it's changing, especially like Griselda and a lot of It's never been. They just say that because they're just exploiting the culture.
Mhm.
You know, so they've made it a young man's game. But music and art and expression doesn't have a fucking age.
Exactly.
They just do it to. I think primarily they do it to cause dissent. It's divide and conquer.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
good old fashioned divide and conquer.
Well, you know what? I like what you just said right there. I want to make that a good segue to some of the stuff, if you don't mind, we were talking about the other day,
Yeah.
as far as like how a lot of those power moves are not being made. There's other moves that's being made to kind of like bring things back together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you can share with us, what you can about how you see that. You know what I'm saying? Like being out there, like you're almost front line to me. Like you front line on dealing with the music from the West Coast. So
Right.
how do you see that changing?
Oh, I think it's bigger than the music, right? It's at least as far as the music goes, I think what's happening is I don't know, it's bigger than music. The music is just a representation, right? I think that people are realizing the power of the music to influence just art and music in general is going to influence the minds of people, right?
Right.
On a collective level. And hip hop, I think, was always like it's really this is some shit that I recently just understood myself is that it's like Chuck D said that it's like CNN. You know what I mean? Hip hop's the CNN for disenfranchised people that are not represented in mainstream media,
Mm-hmm.
right? And really, what I think is happening, like, is it's like the Paul Revere. You know, the British are coming. The British are coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's changing into more of a consciousness raising tool. You know, because now it's like people are now like literally changing the frequency of how they're like off of the like I don't know if you know about this, but they have like standard tuning is 432 hertz.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, and that was put in place by Rockefeller Foundation for a specific reason because it's not in tune with the human resonance of the Earth.
Right.
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 And it's slightly off. So it doesn't. But if you put it into like a base 444 hertz, it's attuned to your chakras, and each one of the 7 keys vibrates one of your chakras.
Right.
Perfectly.
Right.
Like scientifically.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But they got it slightly out of tune. It's like 8 semitones down from the actual resonance of what music should be played at.
Now, why would that on the
Control. Yeah, control. Keep you out.
Right.
Yeah, keep you out because that's how we create the sound. It's creation. Yeah. Out of alignment, keep you trapped into the lower 3 chakras, not passing your heart chakra. The survival animal is.
Yeah, keep you in that lower vibration.
Yeah. It's chaotic and
Lower nature.
You know.
Feeling.
I could take off right there. You know, that's that zombie apocalypse shit right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everybody snap the fuck out.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. The fucking.
And I heard we should be on the lookout for it.
That's interesting. That's zombie music.
Yeah.
It's zombie music.
Yeah.
Keep you just, zombies focus on food, and they are attracted by the senses of what they hear.
Yeah.
And they just want to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they want to turn everyone into them until there's no one left.
Yeah.
And that's the same, that music keeps that vibration, keeps you in that lower nature. We want to eat good. We want to smoke good, have sex.
Yeah.
And then we following those things and don't say nothing that we don't want. Then we go into attack mode and then mob against you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Based on I feel. So now I'm understanding it in a whole new different perspective. You know what I'm saying? We think of zombies as what we see in the movies, but we're not realizing when you reach a certain level of awareness that you came out of being a zombie. You know what I'm saying? And the power of music is like we did a podcast on the senses, right? How many senses do we have? And we found that there's a lot. And the way that we know that there's a lot, right, is that people who know that there are senses and understand them control the environment better than the person that only stands by. So one of the senses is that we realize is your sense of cycles, which is the sense of rhythm, which is like music is part of that rhythm. But let's say if we were to speed up the sounds of nature, it will make a rhythm. If we were to speed up the cycles of the seasons, it will make a rhythm. So if you look at the way your brain functions and cycles music through it, or information, words, if you sped that up, it'll make a rhythm. Or so that's your sense of rhythm.
Right.
Now, this is how we know someone understands that, because they created devices and they have an artificial rhythm. They call it the algorithm. You see what I'm saying? And they know this, and that's why they know this from music. And if you really think about it, music, a lot of music back in the when hip hop was coming out, and we had a lot of conscious rap, that was really teaching us about a lot of stuff. And music is a good way to, you sing your ABCs, you learn them faster. So that rhythm is a very powerful tool to insert into the consciousness, subconsciously. You know what I mean? And so that's interesting that you say that. That's what I saw, but I'm sorry about that.
No, you're right on point. It's programming the subconscious mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you put something to a rhythm, like a natural flow, a natural rhythm, and then you repeat certain words, you're ingraining it into people's subconscious mind, and it's creating their reality. And then you do that to more people on a massive scale, and you create the whole fucking earth.
Yep.
Programming, spelling.
Yep.
Programming.
Yeah.
You're casting spelling.
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
Wizardry.
Wizardry. It just used for for negative.
Yeah.
Used for negative, and then it's really a education system too. Like I think you kind of put me up on comedic science. When I was stuck. I was studying Islam.
He was growing.
I was going through the Islamic school. I was going through the Islamic school, learning the Semitic languages, and you were telling me about comedic science, and I think it's about education and about like a lot of like the that's what hip hop was, because you had a lot of melanated people that was just young and making a killing and changing, not even making a killing, they were making a lot of money and changing the whole world based on music. What do? Take the instruments out of the schools. You can't be doing this. Changing the frequency of the whole planet.
That's powerful.
Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
Smokey Robinson is a high level magician. High level. Earth, Wind, and Fire is that's you're dealing with a whole different level. It's just the symbol, just the album covers alone. Just the album covers alone.
Yeah.
The album covers.
They was on something.
Tapped in. I mean, they mastered the funk.
One thing that this is guy we watch called UB TV, right?
Okay.
He has this thing where he says 9 episode of America is Egypt, and then he goes into giving you, what do you call public records and data of why he supports that. And if you think about Earth, Wind, and Fire, they were really heavy on that, expressing that. You know what I mean?
The whole time.
Yeah. So
17 Fire.
Yeah. So where did that come from? Like, was that in them? Were they? You know what I mean? Like, I think
it was direct.
Yeah, I think
I remember exactly what
it was intentional.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
Listen to that music right now. Let's see.
What's the brother that passed away? It was Philip Bailey, and what's the guy that started the group that
I'm trying to remember.
he was a jazz musician. He was a famous jazz musician before he even started Earth, Wind, and Fire. He was a very seasoned musician and writer. Right, he's right.
Okay, I can't even remember his name.
Philip Bailey and the other guy, what's his name?
Maurice or something like that?
You said what?
Was it Maurice?
Yeah, Maurice White, I think.
Yeah.
He's the one that passed away. He was like the group leader, but I think you're exactly right. It was intentional, and they used a lot of ancient Egyptian symbolism, a lot of Amaru, Inca, Mayan, indigenous American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then even when we tap into that, like music, if there's a sense of rhythm, then that means it's natural. And music is a component of nature.
Absolutely.
And where even though we express ourselves, it's also a language.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's a key component of creation itself.
right. So what I was gonna say, you know, then I'll let you run with it, bro, is that the Kemetic culture is about nature. The Mayan culture is about nature. When you start to get into the Christian and the Islam, Hindu, it's more about the human, the natural mind of the human, what it's capable of and how to free itself. So it's still dealing with nature because we are all made of nature.
Right.
It's just different levels of it.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm seeing how music can play like every culture, every religion has folklores, folk tales, and musical tunes to express ancient knowledge, told in stories. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. And so it's the same component that we're doing now. But when people go back to look at the stories or the information that we are doing now, they will see that we were in a low state. We were animalistic. You know what I'm saying? We were eating our young, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a good record keeper too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So yeah,
absolutely.
But you know, as we always do, man, we gotta hit you since you are MC. We gotta hit you with your top 5 MCs, dead or alive. Can be from either coast, or you want to do coastal, you can do that too. But if you want to just top 5,
Top 5.
yeah,
Pac, Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie, Eminem.
okay, that's a nice lineup.
That's my top 5.
That's a nice lineup. You won't lose with them.
Oh, yeah.
So what about you're a producer, so we don't get many of them in here.
Yeah.
Especially of your caliber. So who are some of the top producers? Top 5 producers.
Dre, DJ Premier, Kanye, Ye, whatever,
Yeah.
Ye, brother Ye, President
President.
Ye.
President.
President
Yeah.
Ye.
Yeah.
What you thought?
What is that? Is that 3, 4?
That's 3.
3. And then I have to go with the Cosmic Slop Shop from the Bay Area. So that's Rick Rock, Mike Mosley, Sam Bostic. It's a whole collective for anybody that doesn't know. They kind of put together the Bay Area sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll let them be just your 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 5, I'll say. I'll say Don Juan.
Okay.
Don Juan from Kansas City. I say Don Juan or Icy Rock because of the amount of impact they had on me.
Yeah. Shout out to both of them.
Yeah.
What up,
Yeah,
Rob?
shouts out.
John Juan. What up?
Yeah. Don Juan or Icy Rock.
Yeah. All right. And then we added a new one, because there's a lot of groups that come up and made an impact on the culture as well.
Yeah.
So what are some of your top 5? Or if you don't have less than 5, groups.
UGK, number 1. Underground Kings, Outkast, Wu-Tang, BDP.
Dope.
BDP. Because people always say KRS-One and they forget this is BDP.
It was a beat, it was a group,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
BDP.
Okay.
We got one more.
I said Outkast. I said UGK, Wu-Tang. I'm gonna go. That's a good one.
It's something out there. We say something, you'd be like, ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm debating between a couple right now. I'm gonna just say Run DMC, man. I gotta give it to Run DMC. Man.
That was a start of the fly duos.
I was gonna say Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5, but Run DMC was just, I mean, the impact they had.
I'm surprised you didn't say the lots.
It was there.
Jada
was. I was trying to. I'm like,
Jada's
in my
That's a
top
lot,
five.
though.
whole lot of.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's all in
Man,
your preference. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, man. So where you think music is going in the next 5 years? Where you think?
Heavy sinking the brain. I think they're gonna change the tuning. Everybody's gonna start change because you could do it right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a thing up on how to do it on each one of the dogs to change it to the proper tuning.
That'd be
8
dope.
semitones up. Everybody that's listening right now, stop playing your music at 432 hertz. Play it tune it to the bass at 444 hertz. It's 8 semitones up from what they're. Yeah. So it'll make the heart chakra resonate at 520 pure gold. The pure golden color, the gold and the green right in the center in the heart chakra. That's what they and it's hemi-syncing the brain. Start left brain, right brain. So using panning and stereo to hemi-sync the brain. So your great music already hemi-syncs the brain. It gets both of your.
Now, when you say hemi-sync, what do you mean?
Each one of the hemispheres of your brain. It's called hemi-sync the brain.
But is that similar to
Left brain, right brain.
brain balancing?
Exactly.
Balancing your intelligence with your emotional coefficiency.
Yeah.
So that's the way that you actually achieve your highest level of becoming by having those balance. So that's interesting to say it. So that means that a lot of retardation was just pre-programmed.
It was a birth defect from the fucking experiment.
Yeah.
They gotta fix the fucking birth defects.
Yeah, which is gonna be generational.
It's
You gotta
gonna be
wait for the
generational.
next
It's taking a long
generation.
time.
Yeah, to get.
I was just blessed. I've had one of these too, you know.
Mhm.
They've been hemi-syncing my brain for a while.
For a while, yeah.
I had a lot of dope, elders. Yeah, raising my chakras, getting past. I realized recently, I didn't even know about this, but until I found out about, you're supposed to, like, a lot of people will chant and they'll people listen to binaural beats, right? You know what binaural beats are? It's tuned to the right frequencies, and people will listen to them to try to manifest shit or try to heal a certain chakra.
Yeah. So
here's the key that I got from the Kemetic Egyptian school of thought. They chanted. So people were just listening to the binaural beats, but we're supposed to be singing the tones to actually tune the whole body.
Yeah.
And people got all this tuning force, and they're listening to the shit on speakers, but you're supposed to harmonize it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to,
It vibrates the brain.
It vibrates the
Stimulates
brain,
it,
and you vibrate right in here.
Yeah.
And you channel.
That's like the and what's the other one? Ray Chong.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Tim.
Yeah.
Ra.
You don't have to even say any words.
Yeah.
That's more powerful when you put a syllable or the actual letters in there.
Yeah.
But you could just so if the heart chakra resonates at 528 hertz, you can pull up they have a ton of the shit. All these new age meditation people have a ton of the shit. It'll have the tone.
On YouTube.
Yeah, it'll have the tone in there. But what they're not telling you to do is harmonize with it. Sing to it. Just just connect to it. And it literally it's vibrating your fucking body. And if it's going through, and they do it like it's supposed to be like just you play just a slightly off it'll be like some, I don't know how many semitones, but each side of the brain is just slightly off, so it creates this you're hearing one, you're supposed to do it with headphones and intone the frequency, and it'll raise it's literally raising that Kundalini spirit up your spine into your pineal.
Like the damn Old school hearing test.
Yeah.
Raise your hand.
Yeah.
They did it. The CIA did the shit. It's called the they did it. It's like what's
Yeah, I hate it.
they already did all this work and figured out if you hemp sync in the brain, you're like chanting, you'll literally leave your body behind and you can go and fuck around on the astral plane in the higher dimensions. I mean, these motherfuckers, yeah, they figured it out, you know. But
See, that's what even like taking it into more senses, right? Like the senses of you have the 12 dimensions.
yeah,
Now the thing about the senses is they require awareness.
right,
So once you become aware of the 12 senses, one of those, 12 dimensions, one of those 12 dimensions is being able to connect with all living things as you are that and it is you. And you're going into these different ways. And then something KRS One said too that struck me is like, when you say your name in your head, where is that voice coming from and what ears are you listening to? So that right there means like there's a like kind of like playing a video game. Even though I'm playing a video game and I'm submerged in this movement, which is my body, the actual me that's playing the game is totally outside, connected to it. Right. So that's the same thing with astral travel. Even though I'm here, I can just take a second to allow my body to relax and then let my mind, let my mind travel to space because the mind is not confined to the body. The body is just there for the mind to express itself. And so I can see how that's possible. Yeah. And that's where learning all the I'm real serious. We real serious about learning because we have over 100 and something senses. Yeah. But we missing. You got the 5. You got the 12. 12 clairs, clair audio, clair visual, clair sentient. Yeah. Those are all senses because a person has to be aware that they're going through this process. That means you're in the act of sensing it. You know what I'm saying? If you can sense it and it's a part of you, then it actually comes with you like your sense of genius, right? Yeah. You call yourself a genius, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so here this is what it is. Genius is one of the words in there is gene. Yeah. So that means you're innately born with the ability to do this. And that comes from the lineage of all your parents. So from all the way back, let's say just to 20,000 people of your people that made you who you are, they all left secrets inside of you to tap into. And that's your sense of genius. And when you understand that, now you realize that not one person on this earth is smart. We all are we all have the ability to be that genius. It's just that the environment, which I think school should be outed. Because you can learn more. You can learn more about just living, doing, and you can learn more about. They say that the purer you are, the more nature blesses you with its gifts. Absolutely. So, in this environment we pollute it constantly because if we weren't, we would receive those gifts naturally. We won't need school to train us. We just need each other to raise our awareness. So yeah, I don't want to keep going on about that, but I'm just real big on the reason why we be in control is because we don't know what we're physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally capable of, or do we know the realm of our existence is not just in the lower, in this area. Right. So there's so much more that we're missing. Right. And to even get to the crown to allow that to shine and glow with that same, color. Right. But yeah, it just seems like
conscious knowledge itself.
Yeah. It seems like we're moving back to that, but it's kind of like the elephant that grew up with the chain on his leg, and then when it becomes an adult, they put a rope. When the elephant can clearly break the rope, but because of conditioning, it doesn't realize that it's free to do whatever it wants. Right. So I think we're at that state, and it's going to be kind of timid, right? Because you got to start doing stuff like grow your own food. Yeah. You got to be willing to get out the city, get into nature. Yeah. And, a lot of us is just not willing to do that. Yeah.
I think it's just a narrative change. I think a lot of people are willing to do it. They just don't realize it because they're under a spell. They're under a program. It's a lot more fun. You know, a lot of people might not. A lot of those rites of passage and that used to be conducted out in nature, they took away. You know, so if you've never been hunting or four-wheeling, you might not know you like that shit.
This is a water shop. First time at the service. You gotta come here and get a haircut.
Yeah, we don't cut outside, bro.
I'm just saying, I didn't know that. I'm just saying, what days y'all on? Monday to Friday?
7 days.
Except Monday.
7 Monday, yeah, 6 days a week.
The hours.
9 to 7, 9 to 6, pretty much every day.
9 to 7 during the week, Saturday 6, Sunday noon to 5.
I come home here.
There you go. Sometimes, you gotta get that
You
detail
guys saying
polish.
braid, I was growing up braid with a plant, same braid since '94. I've been locked up 14 months, just got out of it, just growing up braid shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I said, cut this shit. I'm out here, keep it bald. You know what I'm saying? Cut my own shit.
Yeah, you got that beard though.
Sometimes
Sometimes you gotta step out.
Like my thing growing this, I might have y'all take this up, you know what I'm saying? Look
Yeah,
like Steve Harvey line or something.
right.
Like I'm out of
Go with that hair ring, man. That's nice.
I
Man.
think bro, shit, you know what I'm saying? Keep my little jewels, bro.
Right.
Mhm.
There you go. Yeah.
That's what's up, bro. I come out of y'all.
All right,
All right,
man.
man. Yeah, I'm good, bro.
Easy, bro.
Sir.
Yeah, man. They gotta get you know what they gotta get. They gotta get the women back in nature. That's what they're doing. They're keeping the women disconnected from nature.
But
You know,
that's all we talk about, man.
Yeah.
It's men raising their quality.
Yes, sir.
Women by nature gonna follow.
Gonna
suit.
follow
the-
It's
gonna
just
follow
natural,
the
like,
leader.
It's automatic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right. Well, you see it changing now. You see it changing right now. They gotta get the planet back to normal, bro. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they gotta do. Everything else.
What up, bro?
Oh.
Mo in the house. Say what up for the camera, yeah. Word, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this next cut.
Oh yeah.
You know what it is. JP.
JPZ.
Yes, sir.